What's up, guys? This is gonna be the best $1,000 paintball gun setup. Okay, well, maybe not like, exactly $1,000. In doing this video, it's kind of hard to like pick things that I liked that I would put into this setup that would make it exactly $1,000. So we went to 1,100, maybe just a little bit under. The most important part about any paintball gun setup, obviously, has to be a paintball gun. And I kind of feel that we have 4 guns that will fit well into this setup. We have the Shocker XLS, the Dye DSR, the Empire 6, and finally, the Planet Eclipse 170R. So that Shocker XLS is gonna be one of the more popular mid-range guns. It's been out for a little bit here. It's known for being very lightweight. I mean, you can just see the thing. It's super streamlined and slim. Has some really clever maintenance features that kind of just make troubleshooting like regulator or bolt leaks easier. But really what they're known for is being really lightweight. So people really like that lightweight overall small profile, and they do shoot well, right? Like all of these guns in this video, they're all gonna kick a very little, be really quiet, easy on paint, and just kind of overall shoot well. And then there's the Dye DSR. The DSR is a gun that I really like a lot. I really like the way the DSR shoots. It kind of reminds me of how my Geo 3.5 shot years ago. I really like the ergonomics, the foregrip I'm a fan of. Really like this hourglass teardrop ultralight trigger frames they're putting on these DSRs and really all the other Dye guns. So I like this DSR, but I think it's a little bit out of our price range. These things start at $900, so that really doesn't leave us much room for a tank and hopper. So we're moving on to the Empire 6. So the 6 is really based off the Empire Axe and the Empire Mini platform, a bolt system and design that I really like. It's really reliable and shoots pretty well. A lot of people are really like pushed away or dislike the way that the 6 looks, and I totally get it. That front foregrip is kind of crazy looking. But really when you get the thing in your hands, that front foregrip, while yeah, looks insane, the rubber and the size and shape of it really make it easy to hold. So it's kind of odd, right? It looks terrible. I like the ergonomics though, and it shoots pretty good, but it's still not the best. I think that I would go with that 170R, the one we're leaving for the end. The 170R has Planet Eclipse's extremely popular Gamma Core, the same bolt system that we're finding in the EMEC, the MG100, and this 170R. It's very reliable, kicks very little, and it's just overall a fantastic bolt system. Like all the other Planet Eclipse guns though, the 170R is made extremely well. So all the parts fit together well, the rubber is excellent, and it's just made well. I think that having that consistency in manufacturing is really what makes the 170R so great. So that's why we're going with it for a $1,000 setup. If you're looking to pick up, say, that 170R, maybe you just want the XLS because it's so goddamn light, make sure to click some of the links in the description as they help support this channel. And then we're moving on to hoppers. So in this hopper category, I think we've got 3 good options. We have the HK Army Speed, Dye Rotor LT-R, and the Virtue Spire IR. So that first hopper, the HK Army Speed, kind of like the Shocker XLS, is really just known for being extremely lightweight and very small. They feed really consistent and actually feed pretty quick for their price. I'm not really a fan of the shells though. I really don't like the material of the shells, but I really like how they come apart. So you can remove the nose to easy clean, and you can remove the battery door without using tools. So it just makes stuff taken apart, or I should say it makes taking apart the hopper just a little bit easier. But I kind of think we'll see that in a theme with all these hoppers, right? So going on to the Dye Rotor LT-R. The LT-R also comes apart really easy. So you can see you just remove that top shell, all the internals just come out. It's very easy to take apart. And I really like the shells and the material on the rotor. I mean, the rotor is probably the best made paintball product ever. Like, the thing will last for decades and decades. My one problem though is all those internal spinning mechanisms can kind of cause this thing to jam sometimes. So it's just not feeding very consistent because of all the internal rotor spinning stuff. So then we go to the Virtue Spire IR, and if we look inside this thing, it is way, way simpler. And it also comes apart really easy like that rotor. So the Spire IR, you just remove that back shell, and then the whole internal tray slides out. And you can see inside the thing, it has very simple and very minimal internals. So that just means that it's not gonna jam as much. But having those simple internals also means it's not gonna feed as fast. So certainly the HK Army Speed and the Dye Rotors are all gonna feed faster than the Spire IR. But I think for the consistency of the Spire, the not jamming and how easy it is to take apart, we're picking it for our setup. So picking a tank is kind of easy, right? I think that like there's not a lot of options with tanks. We have like carbon fiber and aluminum tanks. But since we have like this $1,000 setup and we're going with the 170R and the Spire, we might as well go with a carbon fiber tank, right? Getting an aluminum tank, that $50 tank, just seems kind of weird on one of these high-end or mid-range guns. So we should also kind of say that there's really not a big difference between those aluminum tanks and the carbon fiber tanks as far as performance goes. So really what you're paying for when you're doing a carbon fiber tank, you're paying that extra $100, is you are just paying for that bottle. That bottle is going to be higher pressure and lighter in compared to that aluminum tank. So you're just getting more shots, and it's a little bit easier to carry around, I guess. And there's kind of like two areas of these carbon fiber tanks. We have like these entry level, $150 tanks, and then they can go up to $250. But because of our price range, we're going to stay with those cheap ones. And they're kind of all the same, right? I feel like if you buy an HK tank, if you buy a Ninja tank, or you buy an Empire tank, any of those $150 ones, they're all relatively the same. They have the same bottle, and their regs are about the same thing. I think the Ninja regs for that additional $20 they're charging for their tanks is probably worth it though. Their regulators are a little bit better, maybe a teeny bit more consistent. I don't know, maybe. No one's ever really proven it. But we definitely see them lasting a little bit longer into the future. So say like 10 years from now, I'm probably gonna trust that Ninja reg a little bit more than I would like the HK Army or the regular Empire regs. And there's also a couple manufacturers offering higher end tanks. And it's probably Ninja are gonna probably have the best ones. So Ninja offer their SL2 tank that's coming with the Pro V2 regulator. Those SL2 bottles are about 10% lighter, and that Pro V2 has some nice features. So you can adjust the bonnet, you can loosen the set screws, and then just rotate the top of the regulator to allow it to stop screwing into your gun the way you like. So you could make it so the gauge just points up, or the gauge is down, or the fill nipple's up or down. You can kind of adjust it however you want. So being able to adjust it is cool, but I don't really necessarily know if these higher end tanks perform any better. It might be a little bit lighter and have cool features, but you're not gonna get like more shots or like shoot more people or have more consistent velocity. I don't know if they actually do that. So we're sticking with the cheap one. So that's our setup. We're gonna go with the Planet Eclipse 170R, the Spire IR, and that Ninja 68 light tank. So this comes out to be like $1080, so a little bit above that $1,000 price, but I don't know, close enough. Maybe like wait for a sale or something, then we can get to $10,000. No, $1,000. The $10,000 is coming after our coronavirus collapse.